Most games have little shortcuts and things that can greatly improve your quality of life while playing the game, and Eco is no exception. So without any delay, I'm going to go over 7 tips that'll ease your gameplay and hopefully make life just a little better. I'll hit a couple very quick disclaimers on these tips because you should know this as well. None of these are exploits or loopholes in game logic to circumvent what you should actually be doing. And there aren't any spoilers in case you're the kind of gamer that likes to unearth and discover things on your own. These are all above board and things you should know whether it be your first hour of playing Eco or your 1000th hour. First is the movement of goods between containers. The obvious way is to click and drag slot by slot from one container to the next. And if you only want to move a few items, that's still the best way to get it done. But if you need to move a lot of items in bulk, this is the way.
This is the way.
Press and hold the Shift key and drag the item in question to the new container. This will move as many items as you have in inventory over to the new container, or as many items as the new container will hold. This is enormously helpful for mass movement when doing things like filling up your truck to go sell goods, unloading an excavator or skid steer in certain conditions, and a ton of other situations. The second tip involves the mass loading of calories into your tables. If you're frantically clicking the button and adding calories when you need to input thousands, you'll be a while. At first in the game, you're only crafting simple things that only need a couple clicks, but holding the Alt key and clicking the work button will load as many calories as either the job requires or that you have as available calories in your stomach, whichever comes first. So loading tens of thousands of calories into a table is as easy as eating and dumping all those calories with a single click until you get the job done. The third hint to use is while you're out selling goods. I've seen a lot of players selling to stores what they're able to hold in their personal inventory or hands, then picking up goods out of their cart or truck and repeating the selling action at a store until it's all gone. But you don't have to. Just like on your own property, you can link your cart or truck to the store where you're either buying or selling items. With the store's window open, go to the Storage tab and select your vehicle by clicking the incoming or outgoing arrows that control directional flow. The game will sometimes lose this association for various reasons, but once established, it'll often stay for several return trips to the same store. This next hint can be another huge time saver and generally make things easier when dealing with land. There's essentially 3 ways to claim or unclaim land. The most straightforward way is to pull out your land claim stake, hit it into the ground wherever you want to claim things, and go one by one claiming your land. This is the most obvious method in the game, but there's a couple other ways that can be really helpful. The second way is to go ahead and lay down your first claim. Then look at the claimed plot with your claim stake, press E, and click on the Edit to edit the claim. In this map-like view of the world, you can click the right mouse button to claim properties, or even just hold the right mouse button down and sweep your mouse over the plots you want. This is not only a lot faster if you're wanting to claim several plots at once, but can also be enormously helpful when you're wanting to claim areas in terrain that's difficult to reach on foot, like on extremely mountainous areas. There is that third method to claim or unclaim property as well, and I almost added it in with the other editing hint using the claim stake, but it's both different and powerful enough that I decided it deserved its own hint. And I'll admit that I might even use this method more than the other two, at least after I've become a little established in the game. For the third method, use a real estate desk. On the list of deeds you own, create a new deed by clicking the option at the bottom of the list. From here, you can click on the deed it created and it'll open in the same map-like view you had while editing through the claim stake. The big difference with this method is that you can create a deed anywhere in the world. It doesn't have to be tied to a deed you've already put down. You also have the option of renaming the deed on the edit screen or directly on the list of deeds in the real estate desk by clicking on the little edit pin to the left of the deed's name. Using the map view with the claim stake or real estate desk is by far the easiest way to claim or unclaim sections of land. Get the big picture of what's in the surrounding area. See various city or road districts that might be planned so you can position your property in an ideal location. Or even claim properties on the other side of the world without ever leaving the comfort of your home or workshop. So you can use the real estate desk for more than just buying or selling properties. You can use it for full property management. This next hint is something that has a couple different aspects to it. It doesn't take long playing the game to realize that you can hover over almost anything in the game and it'll pop up a window, giving a whole slew of information about that item. It's probably the easiest way to see what kinds of mats and how many of each is needed to craft something. See a list of who is selling something and how much they're selling it for. When was the last time a vendor logged into the game? Really, just about anything you'd want to know about the game that has live data about it. You can even hover over terms in an open dialog box and flow down to another dialog box. It's a hugely powerful tool, and it's usually discovered early, but a game change was introduced a couple versions ago that made it so you might need one little hint to get this efficiently functional. You may want a pop-up box to stay locked in on the screen while you're panning about on the information, and get a little frustrated that it keeps going away or popping up unwanted information for different terms. To get a dialog box to stay locked on the screen while you're panning around, press the Control key. This will hold the pop-up in place and let you browse around better. They used to always lock, but a recent game change put a several-second delay on the feature. You can also go into your game settings under the General tab and change the tooltip delay from the default to something more appealing, so you're not always having to press the Control key a lot. This last tip can almost feel a little invasive of people's privacy, but it's not anything subversive or dishonest. It's definitely built in as a part of the game's features and can also be helpful to both you and another player to help keep the economy and things moving. Each store or table's icon in the game can be seen in the world's map view. If you hover over the store, you can see what it's buying and selling and the prices. But even more interesting is that you can hover over a crafting table and see what items are queued and what resources may or may not be needed to continue the production. After seeing what's queued on a table, hover over that item in the queue, and you get a wealth of information about exactly how many items are in the queue, the resources required, and how many resources are needed to finish the queue, whether or not labor is required, and really get a good assessment on the state of production. So let's say, for instance, you want something like steel bars. In this case, you can see that what is really needed for this player to continue production is coal. It looks like there's enough labor. Potentially, assuming there's stockpile space, you could deliver some coal and resume production. If you're in desperate need of steel bars, none are on the market, and no advanced smelters are online, you can often get things rolling by selling a key ingredient to someone's store to supply that table. It doesn't always work, as there can be stockpile space problems, but it usually does. And this tip can really separate you from the pack with this one piece of high-tier information. There's other tricks out there, but these are ones that can be extremely helpful even within the first week or two of gameplay, or well into a long-term server's playthrough like this one you've been seeing here on Dadspeed. And you can win your own copy of Eco and join the Dadspeed server by putting the key phrase Earth Videos in the comments to this or any other video I post this month, regardless of the game. A random drawing will happen at the end of the month, and the lucky winner will be announced in a subsequent video. I hope you got something out of these hints and tips. Take care, and I'll be talking to you later.